This is my review of Doctor Who Season 8, Episode 12, Death in Heaven, the finale episode of this season. This was a heart-wrencher. Absolutely, positively heart-wrenching. I don't know any other way that they could have reached in our chest cavity more and just twisted in there. Osgood's death in particular was just terrible. I did not expect her to die, and I got so excited when he's like, you know, all space and time for your bucket list, and I was like, oh my god, yes. That would be so amazing to have just this super smart, you know, fragile in ways woman end up being with him, even though I've been kind of hoping for a male companion for a while now. But then when the Master just killed her, I was just like, oh, and when the Master was like, or Mistress, excuse me, was like, you know, you have 1 minute to live, and I was just like, why are you just standing there while she's counting down? I'd be getting the hell out of there. Of course, I guess the Mistress would have killed her anyways, before she could have escaped, but still. Kind of glad that Danny ended up staying dead. I kind of called that in my predictions. I was kind of off, I think, on 2 of my predictions. So Danny did end up staying dead. I still think that Clara is pregnant. I think that that's something that's going to come out in the Christmas special, why she can no longer be with the Doctor. I really enjoyed their lying to each other at the end about how the Doctor's like, oh, I'm going to go back to Gallifrey and everything's going to be great with my people. And Clara's like, oh yeah, me and Danny are going to be hanging out. We don't need you anymore. And they're hugging, and the Doctor says why he doesn't like hugs is because he doesn't trust them, and it's a way to hide your face. And both of their faces are so sad, and they're lying to each other because they want the other one to be happy. And what they don't realize is neither of them are happy. And I do like when Santa bursts in and he's going, it can't end like this. You're not okay, she's not okay. So Santa is calling out their BS. And I really like that. So I don't want a drawn out goodbye for the Christmas special, but I do want something better for a goodbye. I do think that Clara in the end is going to be pregnant and end up being a single mom, but I do think in a way she is going to be finding happiness. And maybe there is a little happiness in knowing that your child is going to have a child that ends up being the first time traveler in human history. So she does have a legacy that she is going to be handing down, but it would be nicer if there was a little bit more happiness to both of them, because both Clara and the Doctor are hurting quite a bit. I think that, again, some people were complaining about how the Master's plan was stupid and that, you know, again, he was just going to give the power to the Doctor, but you have to understand, and if you've watched Classic Who, the Master is absolutely insane. His plans are so grand and sometimes so out there. Yeah, okay, he wants to rule the world. He wants to be the king. He wants to be the emperor. He wants the power. But he's so out there and he's so bananas and it's so hard for him to accomplish those things because of how he does it. And I really enjoyed how Moffat made that distinction that, yeah, he does all this, but she wants to know that they're not alone. You know, she even said, I just want you to realize that you're more like me than you know, and that, you know, I want my friend back. And how lonely, even being bonkers, the Mistress Master is. And to me, that just was really endearing, and I have there is no way she's dead. I, you know, think that the General ended up shooting her, Brigadier ended up shooting her, but I know that she's not dead, and the little glow thing, whether it was that she was inside the TARDIS and she made it so that only she could be seen, and then as soon as she got shot that she made the TARDIS, you know, take her, and that she disappeared with the TARDIS, or, you know, maybe she teleported out. There's no way they would destroy such a great character as Missy. Missy, to me, is a great Master and just did a wonderful job, and I'm really hoping we see her. Not too much, but, you know, she crops up every once in a while. I am glad that in the end, Danny made the decision to let the little boy come back. Probably a weird reunion for the parents and him. Hey, you know your dead child? He's the same age, and now alive, you know. And oh my gosh, the scenes between Danny and Clara just were so terrible and so heart-wrenching. And it's kind of sad that one of her last memories of him is going to be him looking just so terrible in that Cyberman suit. I was kind of hoping when we saw the props and you saw the tombstone of Amy and Rory that they would end up popping up, but they could have been away because they could have been Cybermen, and they said that somebody with a Scottish accent warned them about it. It could have been Amy, or it could have been the Master doing the Scottish accent just to try to get everyone in one area, because she wanted to be around the Doctor and all them to make the plan come to fruition. I like that the Doctor did reconcile that, okay, maybe if he's not always a good man, he's not always a bad man, he's just an idiot with a box. I mean, remember the last Doctor, he's like, you know, I'm a madman with a box. He doesn't, I think he's realizing that he doesn't have to be good or bad to do good things. And I still think he is a good person, he's having trouble dealing with that, but I think it's harder when you view yourself as a good person, because when you make mistakes and you falter, it's harder to view yourself as good. So just reviewing yourself, not viewing yourself as good or bad, but just as I think is easier for him to do. And I'm glad that he finally has that weight taken off him, where he realizes good doesn't have to be done by perfect or good people. It can be done by anyone, no matter what. So overall, I think it was a great finale. It was a tearjerker. It was very emotional. It left a lot of loose threads, which I'm hoping will be sort of tied up in the Christmas special, and the Christmas special is only like a month and a half away. I'm really hoping from there we figure out Clara's pregnant, and that the timeline isn't altered by Danny's death, and that the Doctor and her say goodbye in a meaningful way, and then maybe we get to see a new companion pop up. So those are my thoughts. You can write yours below, like, subscribe, and come back for more geeky videos every day.